What is the most famous epic poem in Old English literature? Beowulf. The Wanderer is an Old English poem that focuses on loneliness and exile. Who is the author of Beowulf? Anonymous. What is the Exeter Book? A collection of Old English poetry. Canings in Old English literature are metaphorical phrases. The Venerable Bede is known for writing ecclesiastical history of the English people. The Seafarer is an Old English poem that primarily explores life at sea and its hardships. What was the role of maid halls in Old English society? Social and cultural gathering places. The Battle of Maldon is a poem that recounts a battle between Anglo-Saxons and Vikings. The concept of weird in Old English literature refers to fate or destiny. What is the historical period during which Old English literature was produced? 5th to the 11th century. Who is often referred to as the father of English literature due to his contributions to Old English prose? King Alfred the Great. What is a scop in the context of Old English literature? A scop was a professional poet and storyteller. What is the Battle of Hastings? 1066 Norman conquest of England. Which epic poem in Old English literature is known for its alliterative words and focuses on the hero's journey to defeat a dragon? Beowulf. What are the key characteristics of Old English poetry? Alliteration, strong rhythm, and kennings. How did the Norman conquest impact Old English literature? Decline of Old English literature and the infusion of Norman French influences. What is the primary mode of transmission for Old English literature? Oral tradition. What is the significance of the Battle of Hastings? It marked the transition from Old English to Middle English literature. What is an elegy in Old English literature? A mournful poem expressing sorrow. Who was Venerable Ved? An Anglo-Saxon scholar known for his historical works. What is the Seafarer about? Life at sea and its hardships. What is the Dream of the Rood? A religious poem from the perspective of the cross. How did the Norman conquest affect Old English literature? It marked the end of the Old English period. What was the dominant religion during the Old English period? Christianity. What is the Junius manuscript? A collection of Old English religious poems. Who is Cenulf? An Old English poet known for allegorical works. What is the theme of The Wife's Lament? A woman's lament over her husband's separation. What is the significance of Alfred the Great in Old English literature? Promoted education and translated texts. What is the Phoenix? An Old English poem about a mythical bird. What is the ruin? An Old English poem reflecting on a decayed city. What is the Battle of Brunanburh? A poem celebrating King Ethelstan's victory. What is Eileen? An Old English poem about Saint Helena. What is the significance of the Exeter Book? A collection of Old English poetry and riddles. What is the theme of the Wanderer's Song? Expresses a warrior's loss of lord and king. What is the Vercelli Book? A manuscript containing Old English religious texts. What is the Battle of Fensburg? A fragmentary Old English poem about battle. What role did the Anglo-Saxons play in Old English literature? They are the cultural and linguistic contributors of the period. What is Widsith? An Old English poem where a scop boasts of troubles. Who is Caedmon? An early Old English poet known for religious poems. What is the significance of runes in Old English culture? Ancient symbols used for writing and magic. What is the Battle of Finnsburg? A fragmentary poem about a legendary battle. What is Judith? An Old English epic poem about the biblical heroine. What is the role of women in Old English poetry? Often represented as hostesses or peace weavers. Who is known for translating Latin works into Old English? King Alfred the Great. What is an epic poem in Old English literature? Long narrative of heroic deeds and adventures. What is the theme of the Battle of Maldon? Loyalty and valor in the face of defeat. Who is known for the religious poem The Phoenix? Cenewulf, an Old English poet. What is Widsith about? A scop's boasting of troubles and encounters. Who wrote the Battle of Brunanburh? The author is unknown. What are some themes in Old English literature? Heroism, fate, loyalty, and religious devotion. What is the Wanderer's Song about? Expresses a warrior's lament after losing his lord. Who is known for translating religious texts into Old English? Ælfric and Wulfstan were notable translators. What is the theme of the Phoenix? Allegorical tale of renewal through rebirth. What is the purpose of alliteration in Old English poetry? Creates rhythm and reinforces sound patterns. What is the purpose of kennings in Old English poetry? Poetic metaphors to enrich language and imagery. Who was known for their religious and biblical poems? Caedmon, an early Anglo-Saxon poet. What is The Wanderer about? Reflections on solitude and exile. Who is Ulfstan, an archbishop known for religious writings? What is Whitseat, an Old English poem of a Scops adventures? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.